Now, from your home team, this is 25
just
News.
Kids who were driving around and shot one time out of the car, they're shooting unlimited clips out of their machine guns.
If it seems like more young people are part of the violence in Peoria, they are. The age of the defendants has been dropping noticeably in recent years. Tonight, 25 News is dedicating our 6 o'clock newscast to team coverage on the statistics. We'll hear from the victims and magnify the efforts to stop the cycle of violence. Good Thursday evening. I'm Tyler Lopez.
And I'm Jenise Rebholz. We begin with the dramatic jump in crime numbers by young people. Some kids not even in high school yet.
If a violent juvenile offender comes across my desk, we've already failed as a society.
It's a scenario seen more often by the Peoria County State's Attorney. Crimes among our young people are increasing, and they're getting more dangerous, too. A decade ago, it was rare for Jodi to prosecute a kid for murder.
When I first started as a young assistant state's attorney back in 2000, so 25 years ago now, our shooters were in their 20s, or even 25 to 30 range. Now, most of ours are under 18. I mean, I think just this year alone that we've had, I believe we've had 4.
8 months into the year, we're seeing 54% more juveniles involved in Peoria crimes compared to 2020. Peoria Police Sergeant Amy Dotson says repeat offenders are becoming more common. In 2020, there were 13 juveniles with 3 or more cases. Now there's more than 24. An increase of 84%.
Sometimes the detectives and the officers that are working patrol, they're dealing with the same juvenile, the same circumstances, the same type of crime.
It's a cycle often starting with theft.
Those individuals, the juvenile court system is built for rehabilitation. You know, it's not a punishment. We're not trying to punish you at that age. We're trying to steer you the other direction. You've done a crime. You need to be held accountable, but we want to get you services.
But the problem Hoos sees is how the system handles violent juveniles. Illinois Safety Act doesn't apply to minors. Instead, they follow the Juvenile Court Act of 1987.
The Juvenile Court Act was just not built for the violent juvenile offenders that we have today.
Almost 40 years later, Hoos doesn't think it's enough to keep dangerous kids out of the public.
If a judge sentences a juvenile to the Department of Corrections, it's called IDJJ. It's called Illinois Department of Juvenile Justice. It's for an indeterminate time up to their 21st birthday. So the moment the judge hands down a sentence to IDJJ, we don't have any control when that kid gets out. And it's not the police's problem, you know, it's not their fault, it's not the prosecutors, and it's not the judges either. We're all doing our part, but when the law doesn't have a set minimum on these cases, and it's up to the warden of that facility to give that kid enough credits that he goes back on the street, I think that's a problem.
Even trying kids as adults isn't a guarantee they stay behind bars.
If we've transferred, it's an adult sentence, but they still go to IDJJ to serve it. In fact, on one of the gun offenses that we had transferred as an adult, it's still, he still got out on that because it went
so they're
to
being
juvenile.
tried as an adult, being sent to IDJJ, and they can still release them early.
Yes.
Of the state's juvenile prison population, 30 to 40% are from Central Illinois. With the possibility of release, it's making Hoos's office get creative with the way they charge violent young people. So far, 6 juveniles have been handed RICO charges for their accused role in more than a dozen shootings, including homicides. Hoos hopes that with racketeering charges, juvenile prisons will keep them behind bars.
When it comes to violent juvenile offenders, we have to have a complete restructuring of the Juvenile Court Act because it just wasn't built for those individuals. And those are the cases that we're seeing these days.